Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Mademoiselle Lina, and you can find me online at www.conjureknits.com. Today, we are here to do the Leo TarotScope for December 2021, and we are going to be using the Fairy Oracle cards by Brian Froud. Before we get started, I would like to say thank you for viewing my video. And if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to my channel. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and click on the little bell so that you'll receive notifications of when I go live or upload new videos. I do try to stay pretty busy here on my channel. I do all 12 zodiac signs for the monthly tarot scopes. On Sundays, we have Conjure Crew with myself, Mambo Tanya, and the Black Bonnet Witch. On Mondays, I upload the weekly forecast. Every day, I do a card of the day reveal. On Wednesdays, we have the virtual book club. We are currently reading the Sword of Truth series by Terry Goodkind. It has been so much fun following Richard and Kaylin on their adventures, so you are definitely going to want to join us for that. I also pop on from time to time and do free readings, so make sure you get my notifications by clicking that little bell. All right, I feel that I have rambled on long enough. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Card number 1. What is the challenge for this month? And we have Town the Poet. This is about clear sight, erotic energy, laughter, not getting into serious mischief. For quite a while, as I looked at Tam's portrait, I really didn't have a very clear idea of his character. He looks so serious, so pensive, so thoughtful, but that wasn't the energy I felt coming from him at all. He had me baffled and fooled. Then it hit me, but he's wearing a mask. He's laughing at us. He likes to speed ahead of us, then stand inside a tree and watch us go by, thinking up mischief for us to fall into. Then he flows ahead, like a river, but much faster, up over the hills and lies in wait for us. That felt right, but Tam looked at me with such wounded dignity that I almost got confused again. Then he started laughing and dashed off. I wondered some more about him, and one of the other fairies said, "He's a fine traveling companion if you have a taste for adventure, bawdy songs, high flights of poetic fancy, and very, down-to-earth observations." Tam's boundless curiosity leads him into some strange places, and he is quite happy to take us there with him. Tam's wings, like ours, are neatly folded at his back and not readily visible. He is still learning to use them properly and thinks he is better with them than he really is. He wants to encourage us to unfold our wings and doesn't hesitate to lead us into situations where we almost have to fly metaphorically, sometimes, in order to survive. When I was young, I think it was he who encouraged me to climb up lots of trees and high buildings I couldn't easily get down from, and I know it was he who encouraged my children to do similar things. He is very fond of children. Like him, they are usually willing to try anything. Tam has a poetic spirit, which involves much more than just the writing of rhymes. It is about being able to see things as they really are, and in that reality to recognize all beauty, even the beauty of necessity and difficulty. This is not an unthinking, reflexive, immature, everything is for the best attitude, but an understanding of the beauty of what we learn from joy and sorrow, from ease and hardship, from pain and pleasure. Tam also wants to show us how silly it is to be so very solemn about life. He laughs at himself, he laughs at us. Sometimes he laughs so hard he gets cowslip wine up his nose, and then everyone else laughs at him. He doesn't mind that as long as we are laughing. Tam is also the young apprentice shaman, barely beginning on the path, but with a boundless interest in all things magical and mystical. He'll try anything and encourage you to do so as well, but you might find it advisable to show a little more sense than he does sometimes. He plays the panpipes, but not very well. He also chases the dryads and has much more success at this. He has a lust for life, wine, females, and song. He claims he was born on the Blarney Stone, which I doubt, and consequently has a wonderful gift for words, which I don't doubt at all. He loves children, writers, and blithe, adventurous, uninhibited spirits. He is a storyteller with a great imagination and has the power to inspire others to action with his words. Card number 2. What positive energies can I embrace this month? And we have Sylvanus. This is about truth, cutting through deception, clarity. Brian called this painting the mask of truth, true dreaming. Sylvanus, who holds the mask of truth, is lord of the woodlands, his crown of antler branches signifying his authority. He presents the mask to us, supported by the fairy of aspiration, as she welcomes us to our own potential. We wear the mask to look inward, seeing our true selves, not our false and fearful selves, but the beings of light that we truly are and what we have the potential to be. It becomes very difficult for us to make excuses and blame others for our failures and fears once we have seen what we could be if we were willing, what, in fact, we already are but are not quite living up to. I thought it was very odd that there is a mask of truth. It seemed to me that we use masks to hide truth rather than to reveal it. Oh no, Sylvanus assured me. First, you put the mask on and hide, and then you take it off to reveal the truth. Very fairy. I see, I said, not certain I did, but not sure I wanted to either. Besides, Sylvanus continued, your face is not your truth. Sometimes faces need to be hidden so truth can be seen. Or sometimes you need to make a crack in consciousness, an aha moment, in order to see a truth you have been blind to. From before the time we were born, people have been projecting their ideas, hopes, fears, and confusions on us. As we grow up, we accept many of these untrue projections as our reality, our partly false, partly true picture of ourselves. Brian wrote, the fairy Conjure-Knits holds one of the many sacred swords of fairy land. This one, forged long ago by mysterious dwarves, is laid across the cliff of the otherworld as a bridge to fairy land. The two-edged sword symbolizes the union of the human world with the world of fairy, as well as the union of the outer world of nature with the inner world of the psyche. It is the sword of clear-cut understanding and sharp perception. But once we cross into fairy, it becomes the sword of courage and noble service. Card number 3. What negative energies do I need to negotiate this month? And we have the fairy godmother. This is Sari. She gives us grace to help us along our way. It might be a little touch of fairy dust to lift a mood. It might be a conspicuous miracle. It might be anything in between. She protects us from the ill will and plain stupidity of others, and from our own mistakes. She untangles the snarls in our psyches and bestows gifts upon us, whatever she feels we need. Sometimes she gives us choices when we thought we had none. Grace is the good fortune we get from the universe even when we don't deserve it. In fact, deserving or not deserving is not the issue. We are, and therefore, we are loved. It's that simple. Sari, the fairy godmother, is a giver of grace and occasionally, quite often, in fact, of useful lessons. She tries not to interfere with our learning processes, but she adds that little touch of fairy grace that helps us to learn a little faster sometimes. Quite often she acts in our lives through the hands and hearts of others. The fairy godmother is the only one to wear a crown of stars, flowers, and branches, which says a lot about her. Luckily, each of us has a fairy godmother to provide the extras that our guardian angels are often too busy to think about. Fairy godmothers in general are well known for their love of parties. Don't forget to invite them to your festivities and special occasions. The fairy godmother glows through us as we perform loving and appropriate kindnesses for others and develop our capacity for unconditional love. Card number 4. What do I need to make time for this month? And we have the piper. The secret melody of the piper drifts through our lives, offering us a means to communicate from the heart and without words. His music conveys our emotions to one another, emotions that are audible only in the listening ear of our hearts. His approach to us is gentle and wordless. He may send us his melody through the whisper of leaves, the rustle of grass, the song of a bird, the hum of city traffic, the buzz of a refrigerator, or the whir of a computer. He asks that we listen to the world around us, especially to the unspoken words of others, humans and fairies, plants and trees. Among the other things the piper offers us is the ability to bring him our sorrows and pain in the form of music so that he may help us to heal them. Sing a sad song to this fairy, and he will add to it the energy of cleansing and healing, if we are open to healing. His natural music also offers us tranquility if we take the time to be still and listen to it. The piper's music can be seductive and attractive, even magnetic. He lures us with our own daydreams. Sometimes we allow the music of the piper to enthrall us into illusion, especially the illusion of control over that which we cannot control. However, if we use that illusion, our own self-deceit, to break through into greater truth, it has served its real purpose. He calls to us, asking that we listen to him, to the fairies, to each other's hearts. His piping may seem elusive, hard to hear, diffused, yet it is very clear and it brings us the meaning of our lives. Working on developing more order, harmony, and beauty in your life. Then you are singing to the tune of the piper and becoming more like him as you do. Card number 5. What opportunity should I seize this month? And we have Spirit Dancer. The Spirit Dancer understands both sides of self-expression. In the first stage, we get our inner vision, feelings, and creative impulse out into the world through our art, whatever that is. Then our expressions are reflected back to us from the mirror of other people's perceptions, and we discover what our art awakens in them. First, and most important for many of us, we learn, grow, and lead more satisfying lives if we have ways of expressing our inner world. Such expressions can be a way of helping ourselves better understand our feelings and experiences. Or they can be a way of getting pain out where we can look at it and let it begin to heal. Creative expression is a method of exploring our own truth, bringing it into light so we can see it more clearly, and maintaining sanity. The key words here are explore, experiment, and express. Second, creative expression is a way of sharing and letting others see more of our true selves. It is a way that we can reach out from this illusion of separation and reaffirm our essential connections with one another. When we share a dance, a painting, or a poem with others, we do so with the hope that they will see something of what we have put into it, and that their experience will echo ours in some way. But if we have done well, we will be able to add something to their experience. At the same time, we understand that their slant on things is a bit different, and that what they reflect back to us by their response will perhaps contain something we haven't seen about our own experience, a new insight, a different view, an expansion of our picture of reality. So this side of creative expression, the sharing part, enriches us in a different way than the actual creation. I have never written a poem or sculpted something without the experience changing me, and then changing me again when I shared it with others. This is something I've heard many others say, including many who do not consider themselves real artists or real writers. Spirit Dancer encourages us to take creative action from our place of personal power, the inner core of true feelings and understanding within us. She wants us to clarify our vision, find the creative potential that lies hidden in paradox, confusion, and chaos, and turn these into a free-flowing, finely balanced, evolving order. She wants to aid us in making our best fantasies real. She also is very enthusiastic about helping us to learn to dance well with the fairies, if we don't already know how. And if we do know how, she would still be delighted to dance with us just for the fun of it. Step out boldly. All right, my lovelies. Let's take a look at the bigger picture here. Card number 1. What is the challenge for this month? And we have Town the Poet. This card can indicate confusion about what is really true, or it may suggest that we are being silent when in fact we need to speak up. It can also indicate lies found out. You can get into a lot of trouble with Town. Just use a little common sense. If you don't have much, here is your chance to develop some instead of spending your brain energy making up excuses for foolishness. This card suggests that exercising good sense is of some urgency lest you wind up head over heels. Card number 2. What positive energies can I embrace this month? And we have Sylvanus. At this time, you are discovering new truths about yourself. They are essential for you to know in order to create relationships based on mutual respect, affection, and trust. These things can only work if we see ourselves and others as we are. Currently, both fairy and this world are functioning as a giant mirror in which we see ourselves in many surprising ways. People tend to dread this because we assume that we are worse than we think we are, but this is far from necessarily true. Now is a time for finding out the false and misleading beliefs you have accepted and discovering that you are a better person than you thought, and have the potential to accomplish more than you believed you could. If someone says you are better or simply different than you think you are, don't automatically reject this. Think it over carefully. You have more to give and more to enjoy than you have been giving yourself credit for. Card number 3. What negative energies do I need to negotiate this month? And we have the Fairy Godmother. When we block the Fairy Godmother from our daily lives, things are harder than they need be. When we attempt to live without the grace of the fairies and of heaven, life is an uphill struggle. When we twist this energy, we become judgmental and get tied in knots trying to decide who is worthy and who is not. We tie strings to everything we offer others, and then we trip over them. At worst, we sour our lives, sharing nothing and taking from others, becoming the selfish, greedy thief in the night instead of the sparkling fairy godmother who glows with the light from within. No matter how much that thief accumulates, he will never have enough to feel happy or secure or loved. Card number 4. What do I need to make time for this month? And we have the Piper. To get what you want, the Piper recommends that you try polite requests and gentle, patient persuasion, and then wait, quietly welcoming, for it to come to you. Seek harmony and tranquility in yourself and in the world around you. Use tenderness and gentleness. This card speaks of a time of harmony, creativity, and increasing order. It tells of communication without words, the music of empathy and the awareness of the feelings and concerns of others. This is a time to pay attention to the subtlety of others' expressions of feelings and ideas. Look past the surface and listen as you would to a beguiling melody on the very edge of hearing. He also plays melodies in our dreams, which may be filled with meaning and importance, and then he leaves it up to us to understand what they mean. This may also be a good time to be aware that others may be listening to us with sensitivity and clarity, so much so that they may hear what we are truly saying more clearly than we do ourselves. This card may also signify musical talent or ability, or it may be suggesting that the use of music is in some way important at the present time. Card number 5. What opportunity should I seize this month? And we have Spirit Dancer. Now is the time to focus and really concentrate on a project or process, especially one involving the creative arts. Spontaneity balanced by self-discipline will help us achieve our goals. Strive for elegance and simplicity. This is a time to bring out and share qualities that we have nurtured in private. We, like fairies, are both luminous and illuminating. Let your light shine this month. Get creative and share your creations with the world. This is going to be an absolutely amazing and magical month for you. Enjoy it to the fullest. I hope that this reading has helped you and will help lead you and guide you throughout the month of December. If you do feel that it has helped you and that it will help someone else, please feel free to share this video. Sharing is caring. And if you would like a more in-depth and personal reading, you can go to my website at www.conjureknits.com and click on the link at the top of the page that says Book a Reading. Oh, and by the way, did you know that you could have gotten this TarotScope up to 2 weeks before the general public? Oh yes, check out my Patreon for details. I will drop a link in the description box below. I hope you all have a very beautiful and amazing month. Love you bunches. Shalom.